one thing that I enjoyed the most about life.
Chester Bennington's voice shook stadiums and defined a generation, propelling Linkin Park to worldwide fame with hits like In the End and Numb.
The award goes to Linkin Park.
But behind the powerful performances and massive success was the story of a fighter who poured his pain into music that would leave a lasting impact on the world.
And that's what I remember is this just like lightness, but then you'd hear him and it'd be like, this guy's got darkness.
This is the story of Chester Bennington. Chester Charles Bennington was born in Phoenix, Arizona on March 20th, 1976. His mom worked as a nurse and his dad was a police detective who handled tough cases involving child abuse. Bennington grew up the youngest of 4 children, but his childhood wasn't easy. His parents split when he was just 11, and after that, he was pretty much left on his own. He lived with his dad, but communication with his family was almost non-existent. Although he had siblings, they were rarely around, leaving Chester to navigate the tough times mostly by himself. In an interview with Kerrang!, Chester reflected on how tough his teenage years were after his family fell apart. My parents got divorced when I was 11. When my mom left, my whole family pretty much disappeared. My older brother and my older sister left home. My other sister, who's a little older than me, was hardly ever there. That left me and my dad, and he was working around the clock, pulling double shifts. I was pretty much just left at home by myself. It was horrible. Chester was always open about the horrific challenges he faced as a child. In that same brutally honest Kerrang! Interview, he revealed the nightmare that began when he was abused as a kid. It started when I was about 7 or 8. It was by a friend who was a few years older than me. I was getting beaten up and being forced to do things I didn't want to do. It destroyed my self-confidence. I hated everybody in my family. I felt abandoned by my mom. My dad was not very emotionally stable. And there was no one I could turn to. The only thing I wanted to do was kill everybody and run away. The abuse lasted until he was 13, and later, he turned to drugs to try and escape the pain of that time.
I started using drugs, so I was exposed to it really, really young, and there was a lot of things that happened to me as a young person that were really difficult to deal with, and I found myself alone a lot, and so it was, I think that given the nature of a lot of the aspects of my childhood, when that first person offered me, an escape from reality, I kind of took it and I ran with it,
In high school, Chester was bullied badly. He shared in an interview that he was knocked around like a rag doll because he was skinny and didn't look like everyone else. With the kind of trauma he endured, it's almost inevitable that depression would take root. His painful past created the perfect storm for the darkness to grow.
It's not like, oh man, like I kind of like that, I'm just bummed. It's like, I don't want to do anything, and I don't feel like doing anything, and I don't like anything. Like there's no sunshine. For me, I've always kind of dealt with that my whole life, I've always had these kind of depressive side, and I think that's something I've never liked, but I've also never liked being anything. I don't like being I want to be happy, but when I'm in it, I try to get out of it. I don't like being sad. When I'm in it, I want to get out of it. I've never been comfortable just being. My whole life, I've just kind of felt a little off, and I find myself like getting into these patterns of like behavior or thought, and especially when I'm like stuck up here. I like to say that like this is like I heard somebody say this once and it like stuck with me, but this is like a bad neighborhood, you know what I mean? And I should not go walking alone.
Chester was undeniably a tortured soul, and he found a way to channel all of that pain into his music. His voice was amazing, effortlessly shifting from gentle tones to powerful screams. His songs often seemed like they gave an inside look at the struggle of mental illness. Chester himself said that when everything else in his life was falling apart, music was the only thing that kept him going.
The one I would say that music has probably kept me alive, more so than anything else. I mean, other than, you know, love from your friends and family, I think that, you know, music is probably the reason why I still am here, because that is how I get out a lot of the stuff that's going on inside of me. And that's how I kind of work through a lot of things. I reflect on my life.